Hi, this is Paula from Alanda Craft, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make stencil text using ScanNCut Canvas. And what I mean by stencil text, I'll come down to text here and I'll show you an example, because the Canvas software here has some example fonts, but only one of them is a stencil text, and that's this one here. So I'll click on that one. You can see there, that's a stencil. So if you wanted to use this as a stencil, this would be a perfect one to use. But what if you wanted to use one of these other ones? If I click on that one there, you can see that's not a stenciled one. And what will happen if you want to use this as a stencil is that when you print this E, for instance, you're going to lose the middle circle here. This middle shape here is going to disappear and just pop out, and you won't really be able to use this as a stencil. So to turn this into this is fairly easy. So I'll just get rid of that one first of all, and we'll pop this up here. So what you want to do, you've typed out your word and you want to turn this E into a stenciled E, because the others will be fine. You won't need to change the T, the X or the T here, just this E here. So all you really need to do is come back to your basic shapes here, click on that and choose the square. Okay, so you've got this big square here, and what we want to do is reduce this down by clicking on the side here and dragging it over till we form about something like that, and then drag from the bottom just to make it a bit shorter. And then I'm going to click and drag it over to this E, because what I want to do is create a bridge or a spacing through this E. So you can adjust the size of that any way you like. So once it's over the top of the E like that, I want to highlight everything. So I just click in the corner, click and drag just to make sure everything's highlighted. And I'll come up to edit, and then I'm going to click on this one here, the process overlap, and this is the subtract option. Click on that, and there you go. So there's your E, and now it's ready to be printed as a stencil. So you can do that with other letters as well. So we'll get rid of that one. Any of these fonts should work with it. Some will look better than others, however. I'll still choose this one because it's a nice bold font to use. But just say I want to do one letter at a time, I could do the B. That's another one where the inside would disappear. So do exactly the same thing. Come back to basic shapes, choose the square, just make it smaller to fit the size you want. Then I'd run it through there, make it a bit longer, and then highlight everything, edit and subtract, and there you go. So that creates stenciled letters and stenciled words. Now the problem with ScanNCut Canvas is things don't always work out the way you want them. So the problem we have with text is that if I wanted to say weld this text together, the best way to do it, if I wanted to weld it and get the stencil effect as well, the best way to do it is always weld first. Okay, so weld the text first before you create your bridges and your spacing. So for this word, for instance, if I wanted to weld it, make sure it's highlighted. I'd come up to here, click on that, and then over here you see the character spacing option. I just want to click the negative here and keep going down until it's welded. So until it's all sort of overlapping each other. That's about right, something like that. Once that's all overlapped, I come up to edit and click weld. Let's move this out of the way. I can't, so I'll just click weld there. And there you go. So that's welded. But we've still got to now add the bridge here. So I come back to my basic shapes, get the square, make it smaller, and pop that there. Okay, then highlight everything, edit and subtract. There you go. So that works. If I did it the other way around, if I did that spacing first and then welded, you'd find that it wouldn't work. What happens is basically the text disappears, is what I've found. Okay, so that's that. Now what we'll do now is we'll bring some text over, a font over from the machine itself, because you can do that. You can pop a USB into the side of your machine, write up some text on the machine, put it onto the USB, and then bring it over into the ScanNCut Canvas here to edit it further, because you can't really do much with it on the ScanNCut itself. So I'm going to go and do that. I'm going to go and load up some text onto a USB and bring it over here into Canvas, and we'll have a play with it then. Okay, so I've got my font now from the machine itself sitting on the screen, and the reason I'm showing you this is that, apart from the fact this was a request from someone, but if you're going to be dragging fonts over from the machine into Canvas, at the point of making this video there is an issue with it. So for some reason fonts from your machine don't work as well as fonts in the software itself. So when you're making changes to this font, you'll notice things don't happen the way you want them to. So if we were to take this spacing out of this E, for instance, I'll show you what happens if we click on Basic to get our square, create our little rectangle to place over the E. Okay, and if we highlight everything now and edit, and we click Subtract like we did before, see what happens? You start losing letters for some reason. So it's obviously a bug in the system, but we can get around it. It's a little bit clumsy what we have to do, but it is doable. So I'll just undo that, get us back to where we were. So what you want to do with this is do the same thing. You can bring this over onto here and highlight everything. But this time when you come up to edit, you want to select this one instead, the divide option. So click on that, and you see it looks like nothing's been done, but something has been done. So what we want to do, and I'll just zoom this up so we can see it a little clearer, is we want to start dragging these bits away. So if I click on there and drag it away, click on here, drag it away, here, here, and here, and even in here we want to drag these away as well. And there you go. So that's how you do that. It's very clumsy. You'd have to just get rid of this stuff at the end of it, but that's fine. So it's not the most ideal way, but it is doable. Now if you wanted to weld these letters now, you'd simply click on the letters, because they've all separated out now. You see how that's happened? So if I click on the letter and hold the Shift key and just drag it over, the Shift key will just prevent it from, it'll keep it locked. See how it kind of locks in place, so you know it's lined up. Do the same here. I'm holding the Shift key down, clicking on the X. Oops, just uncheck that one. Click on the X, move that over, and then click on the T, hold the Shift key and move that over. And then you'd highlight everything, click and drag, edit, and then weld. And that welds it all together. So you can see it is doable. So obviously a glitch with ScanNCut. Hopefully it won't last forever, but at the moment you can get around it by doing that. So I hope that was helpful. If it was, please give us a thumbs up. It really does help our channel. And more Brother ScanNCut videos will be coming soon. So thank you for watching.